Hey y'all, we back with another reaction. And y'all remember Monday when I reacted on we just gonna pretend that a body wasn't found in D4VD front trunk, remember? Okay, and I say no update, no homicide and nothing like that. Now, all of a sudden, since I said that, now things coming out on D4VD. But what I don't understand about the D4VD, at first, uh, TMZ said that LAPD wasn't giving them no type of information. And the person that really kind of like broke this case, but TMZ trying to claim that they claiming that they broke the case was the detective, the PI, the private PI gave us more information than anybody. We have no news coverage, no update on Celeste Rivas, and to be honest with you, we broke the case. We all was saying all the content creators broke the case because we all was saying the same thing. She in the front trump, but how can you prove that David did? So now let's do this. TMZ alleged that they broke the case. How did they break the case? And there's no information out from LAPD about the case. So what are they saying? So they gonna view David as a suspect, but LAPD said David is no suspect. And the autopsy, not toxicology report hasn't even came in. It's a lot going on here, y'all. And I brought this up on Monday about now about Celeste Rivas in D4VD case. And I just couldn't understand how they're gonna blame. They don't have enough evidence to blame. They don't have enough evidence, a possible cause to even put David in this. Unless they need to give us more. They need to give us more. I think they put a case out there and just ran with it because they came in and snatched the cameras out. So let's listen to uh, TMZ since they claimed that they broke the case, but they didn't break the case. I would give most of credit. I would give the credit to the PI of breaking the case, and the reason why I say that is because the PI was the one that came in here and gave us the most breaking news of what was going on in the house, what was on the cameras, who moved the Tesla. He gave the PI, the private investigator, right sizzle. Now they claiming that they broke the case. Really, we broke the case. All the content creator broke the case. We saying the same thing they saying. So let's listen to what they saying, y'all. Now, since I talked about this Monday and we wonder what happened to the update, now we come out with this. Now let's listen to what him said. What he said. Now you got a news coverage. So we're gonna go from here and react, and then we're gonna go to the news coverage because we've been tightly, y'all, real tight over here on this case. And the PI, I have to give it to him. He cracked this case. But listen to this.
Hey everybody, we just broke a big story, a huge story really, on the website in the David investigation, in the investigation into Celeste Rivas' death. I know everyone has been waiting to hear something about this. It has been 2 months since Celeste's decomposing body was found in David's Tesla, and now we know, if you for 1 second thought that the police had forgotten about this and this case was not going to be solved, we now know that the police have been.
Well, we all know this. We all know this. All the content creators that cover this case, we all know LAPD uh, was working on the case scene. We haven't heard nothing from LAPD. No, just that first news coverage that I showed my people, my team over here. But right here, come on, he's still saying the same thing what I said over here and what we talked about and conversated on. They still don't have nothing to me.
working diligently on this case. And here's what we have found out from our law enforcement sources. Uh, David is viewed as a suspect in this case. It may seem obvious, but remember, they have not publicly said anything like that. They have not even said publicly that he is a person of interest.
But
We've
so why are y'all saying it, TMZ? Why are y'all saying it? Y'all putting something different out here now. You all are accusing David. Cause it's a weird case anyway. Somebody found in the front trunk of a car and it got a camera in it, and then y'all can't in LAPD can't get on here and say anything like it was a setup in that house for a case to be broken. So
spoken to several well-placed sources in law enforcement, and they say that in the investigation they are viewing him as a suspect. Another thing is they're viewing this as a homicide. We told you more than a month ago that the key thing here is police were waiting to get the medical examiner.
how are they gonna view it as a homicide and y'all don't have a toxicology report? See, yeah, I'm telling y'all, when it comes down to investigating, I'm good about listening to what these people saying. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm crazy about TMZ stories, but this particular story right here, after covering this story, it's no homicide. You can't call it a homicide if you haven't had a toxicology report. LAPD didn't say it was a homicide. How can y'all come out and say that it's a homicide when you don't have enough evidence? You don't have either evidence to say that. Now, when the PI come out and say homicide, I'll believe it. Cause he about the only one that Steve Fisher is about the only investigator. You did your part by going down to the parents' house, but he did the PI. Steve Fisher did the breaking of this story, and he even gave information to. Uh, he gave his findings what he investigated in the house in the Tesla to LAPD, and he ain't been on here yet and said nothing. I guess he next. But anywho,
Back, and they wanted to find out the manner and cause of death. They wanted that from the medical examiner because the reality is at this point, yes, they know that her body was decomposing, that it was chopped up, but they don't know how she died, and they were waiting for those results. We are told they still do not have toxicology results from the medical examiner's office. However, what investigators do know so far is leading them to treat this as a homicide. They're still waiting for the medical examiner report to back that up, but they are viewing David as a suspect and viewing this as a homicide. So there's something else here that's two more things I got to tell you about. And one of them has to do with the fact that there could be other arrests here. David may not be the only person that they picked up.
okay, before he even said it, I had already said that it don't even seem like David. David know that he, with the girl, but uh he didn't do it. We do have evidence that didn't happen when they was with each other. But we do have a lot of evidence that y'all claimed that she was a runaway, but she came home, so she wasn't missing. There was evidence that the picture showed her standing out there in the yard arguing, fussing. But then the PI came on and said the last time they saw her was January the 2nd. Now, all of a sudden, TMZ, you all haven't broke this case yet. I love y'all now. I love y'all, but y'all haven't broke this case yet. And the reason why I said y'all didn't break this case yet because the same information that we spoke on over here, y'all don't even have a toxicology report. LAPD haven't came on here and said nothing. They wasn't even talking to TMZ. So what's up? What's up with this story? Because this is one of the craziest investigation I ever heard of. If LAPD thought it was David, they would have been locked David up. They got the cameras and everything. thing. We, as the people in TMZ, view this as uh David. I don't see David. I see that it happened in that house where he was, but it's a lot of messy. It's a mess. This case is a mess. I see other people. I've been said that other people's involved in this. The only reason why I say that because the PI, Steve Fisher, gave us a lot of play to work with. He gave us something to work with. So everything he's saying right here is still not say the case is closed. I want to hear LAPD talk.
Investing in this case. We'll tell you why in just a moment. Now, here is another very key fact that we have been told that there was a in the spring of 2025, they have information, police do, about David going to Santa Barbara County, a remote area of Santa Barbara County. That's how it was described to us. That he went to this remote area, spent several hours there, and then returned to LA. Don't know anything more at this point. Don't know. Spring of 2025 is a long way from September, early September.
Okay, y'all remember that I spoke on this case and I told y'all from the very beginning, and then we had a lot of trolls getting hating because we already really saw this case. I told y'all that something happened to that girl. Well, doing for my investigation, investigating what was put out there from the news, and what TMZ put out at first. I said that if her body is decomposed, something happened to her up in around June. First, I said May. Y'all here, cause I got videos. I said May, April, May, and now he coming up with spring. Why? Who? This? What proof? What? Where he get that information from? Now they, but we also said the Tesla looked like dust, like it been in the desert. That's what we said. Huh.
When her body was found in the Tesla. So we don't know yet what exactly that direct connection is, if there's a direct connection to the case, but they have this information about him going to that remote area, and they are trying to find out more about that. So, what I'd said about other arrests. So, again, they don't have the manner of death yet, they don't have the cause of death. What we're told, though, is the manner in which the body um, was dismembered leads police to believe that whoever did that to Celeste had help. That it was not something that whoever the person is who did it could have done by themselves, and likely, we're told, did have help. Now, we are not being told that there are any other people they are viewing as a suspect. We're not told.
How where y'all getting this information from? Because LAPD said that they have not. Uh, David has is not a prime suspect. He's not a suspect. Now all of a sudden, y'all come up with he's a suspect. Well, we're gonna see what the news got to say. Because if the news said TMZ put the news out there, then it's something with this case right here. God, first of all, the case don't make no sense. I always wonder is that Celeste, but it's that Celeste. But they had a funeral, but you don't see nobody at the funeral. All you see is people walking with a cask. That's throwing me off so bad. Not saying that it's somebody in the cast and nothing like that. I'm just saying this is this case here. But the PI, I can trust what the PI said, and the PI even said that David is not a suspect. So why are y'all viewing David as a suspect? And we know other people was involved. We know we kind of not for no. We allegedly thinks that other people are involved.
that there are other persons of interest, just that what they've seen with the body and how it was dismembered, it likely they feel was not done by one person. So right now, again, just to recap, David viewed as a suspect by investigators on this case. They view this as a homicide. Still waiting for the ME's report to back up the fact that her cause of death is a
You
homicide.
can't do that. You can't do that. Y'all got to wait on that toxicology report. And I don't understand how y'all can view him. And she's all over the Celeste Rivers, all over the place. I'm not saying I know not saying, but well, we know that she was in that house. It's too much going on with her being in that house and being in that California apartment downtown, being with her family, with her auntie. It's a lot going on in this case. It's a lot going, and I think it's a money case. I think it's all about the money.
Side, and this mysterious Santa Barbara trip in the spring of 2025. I think that is going to be interesting if police can find out more.
They would be so dumb, but for David, but that's how we have to think, y'all. They are doing crimes that we would have never done back in the days. Not the way they doing it. They're making the crimes easy now to where they will do something like this. I wouldn't doubt that it was what happened to did something happen to her in that house and they covering up. But by Josh throwing David under the bus, like he did nothing, everybody putting an eye finger on David. I think it's, and then somebody called the mom's house. It's weird that somebody called said that was send the police out to the mom house for that call like that, and then police said, well, the phone ping from there, and when they got there, then that happened. Why would he do his mama like that? Why would David do his mom like that? And then turn around and gave her the house. Hey, Mariah, and turn around and told the mama, put the house under the mama name. I think it's somebody in Hollywood after David. I don't know what he did. I don't know what he said, but it seemed like somebody want to get rid of him. I'm not going to look at only I'm going to say David. They first 1 minute they said David is cooperating, and now we haven't have a toxicology report. I am not going to view David as my suspect right now, but I do see suspects in this case, and I'm not a psychic, but we talked about this a long, we always talked about it, and like you say, I brought it up Monday, like, oh, we're gonna pretend like a body wasn't in the front. And come on, y'all, the Tesla have a camera. Come on, y'all. PI did a good job cracking this case, so they broke this case.
And then the final question is, who else was involved in dismembering Celeste's body? Don't have an arrest yet, but this is a good sign for people waiting to see if there is going to be justice for Celeste. A lot of times when these cases drag out, people start to think the police aren't doing any work. We saw this with Brian Koberger in Idaho.
No, we always thought. I'm gonna tell you, TMZ. We always thought that the LAPD were doing a job. We they have to thoroughly investigate a situation like this. But it don't take to Christmas for them to do this. Nobody thought that we all thought that the LAPD were working on the case, because that's what they said they was doing, working on the case, and they have not named anyone as a suspect. Thus far, it's an undetermined death. We waiting on the toxicology. Now I'm not no, I'm gonna stick on this case now. Y'all not gonna come in and say that. Now let's go to the news. Let's go to the news and see then. Let's see what the news talking about now, y'all. Yeah, they got an update on new ever since I came on Monday. Now we got new coverage and everything else. Ain't that something? Ain't that something, y'all? Let's see what they say.
A rising music star faces serious allegations tonight. TMZ is reporting David is now a suspect in the death of a missing teen found in the trunk of his car. Good evening, everybody. You're watching LA Live News Tonight. I'm Marla Tejas. Thanks for joining us. I'm Susan Hirasuna. Police are keeping a tight lid on any leads in the disturbing investigation, but several questions remain tonight in the death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Her body was discovered dismembered in the trunk of David's Tesla months ago, abandoned in Hollywood. We still don't know how she died. Fox 11's Chelsea Edwards, she's on the scene now with the very latest. Chelsea? Yeah, a lot of questions as we move forward with this case. It's been a while since we've heard any developments. This all started back in September. So we're now standing on Doheny. We're just a few blocks south of where that car was initially found before it was towed to that tow yard in Hollywood. Also just a few blocks from where David was living at the time, where he was renting in a house. But TMZ now reporting that he is a suspect in connection with this horrific crime. Take a look at some of this video. So we're talking about the death of 15.
Who did she just say? Hold on, hold on.
Now, this is the
Back it back. Who did she say said that he's a suspect? LAPD? I haven't came on here and said nothing. Hold on. LAPD ain't said nothing. Let me skip it up. So let me see.
Yeah, a lot of questions as we move forward with this case. It's been a while since we've heard any developments. This all started back in September. So we're now standing to rising music.
Hold on, guys.
Serious allegations tonight.
Huggies fast absorbing core versus
Hold on for a second. I'm trying to do something.
leak. 1P, 2Ps, 3P. Hey everybody, we just
Hold on, y'all. I did something. Hold on. 1 second. Hit the wrong button. Okay, let me go right here. Okay.
A rising music star faces serious allegations tonight. TMZ is reporting David is now a suspect in the death of a missing teen found in the trunk of his car. Good evening, everybody. You're watching LA Live News Tonight. I'm Marla Tejas. Thanks for joining us. I'm Susan Hirasuna. Police are keeping a tight lid on any leads in the disturbing investigation, but several questions remain tonight in the death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Her body was discovered dismembered in the trunk of David's Tesla months ago, abandoned in Hollywood. We still don't know how she died. Fox 11's Chelsea Edwards, she's on the scene now with the very latest. Chelsea? Yeah, a lot of questions as we move forward with this case. We've heard any developments. This all started back in September. So we're now standing on Doheny. We're just a few blocks south of where that car was initially found before it was towed to that tow yard in Hollywood. Also just a few blocks from where David was living at the time, where he was renting in a house. The TMZ now reporting that he is...
Now, let me ask y'all a question. Now, you heard what she just said. She said TMZ. TMZ doing the same thing I'm doing, investigating this case. But I'm going by the investigate. I'm going by the information that the PI said. Now, this lady just told y'all the information that she received about D4VD is she got this information from TMZ. She in LA. She in LA. So why haven't she got any information from LAPD? Because they doing chase. They chasing cars. But you come on here and you bring a news and you give us some information that really not legit because the toxicology report hasn't even came back. So how y'all gonna come on the news and act like, oh wow? Because I was curious at this case. I talked about this case Monday, like, oh, we're just gonna pretend ain't nobody found in the front trunk of the Tesla. Come on, lady, you making the news. You making this news. You put this news out here from what TMZ says. I can't wait till the PI come out and say something. Steve Fisher, that's who I want to hear give information because he the one broke crack this case. He the one went inside their house and did his investigation. He also said he know who was driving that Tesla. He know everything. That PI gave us all the information. LAPD ain't gave us nothing.
Suspect in connection with this horrific crime. Take a look at some of this video. So we're talking about the death of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Now, this is the first mention of a suspect at all in this case. Now, LAPD officials have not confirmed TMZ's reporting to us as of right now. Now, Celeste was found in the trunk of that Tesla in the Hollywood tow yard back in September. That car, as you mentioned, later found to be registered to the singer David. Authorities say her body had been decomposing for quite some time. Now, the medical examiner has yet to release a cause of death. They're also still waiting for toxicology reports, which could take some time as her body was dismembered and also very decomposed. This has been a complete...
So why y'all bringing out this information? Y'all need to cut it out. Really, seriously. Need to cut it out. Because y'all ain't even got the information. We ain't even got it. This case is still being investigated. Y'all don't get hooked up in this, because they want y'all to forget about Celeste Rivas. I'm not gonna forget about her. I'm gonna always talk about this case, because I'm not gonna let. They shouldn't have made a case. They shouldn't have. If it's something going on and we don't know about, then we just gonna keep this. We're gonna keep the case moving. Okay.
Talk to people living and working in
What's
this part
up,
of the
way too
Hollywood
bad?
Hills, many who passed that dented, dirty Tesla on the street here on Doheny for weeks and weeks. We spoke to one woman who drives up Doheny every single day for work. She and her colleagues have been watching this case closely. Listen.
I think it makes sense, and it's sad because...
What's up, Check? I got to pay attention to what I'm got up there. But hello, everybody.
I don't really care about who's guilty. I just hope they find the person that is guilty, because a life has been taken. And that's unfortunately, that's the number one thing, and that's the most important, is that justice must be served, and whoever did it should be found. Everyone's so shocked. Everyone I work with, my colleagues, we all feel like it's not real. It just doesn't feel like this is something you hear about in this neighborhood.
Right. Period.
Yeah, it really just doesn't make sense for the neighborhood. But evil lies everywhere. No one's safe. If someone wants to do something bad, they will do it. So it's just, I guess it kind of just gives you a little wake-up call to be more aware of your surroundings. And, if you see something, say something. And I guess we could all just look out for each other.
Now, LA District Attorney Nathan Hochman was on just a little while ago. He said that he hasn't received any paperwork talking about David as being named a suspect at this point. We've also reached out to David's attorney. We've not yet heard back from him. And we've also got calls into the LAPD and other folks, just trying to get some more information here. But again, the toxicology reports we're still waiting on. Then
see, she just told y'all. If y'all were listening, paying attention, she just told y'all. There's LAPD and nobody naming. They not naming David. They're not naming David as a suspect. The toxicology report hasn't come in yet. Y'all don't believe everything you hear.
Be able to determine the cause of death and release the cause of death, but all of that could still take even more time, even though it has been several weeks, because again, her body was dismembered and so decomposed by the time authorities found her. So many questions still here tonight, but I'm getting word that David is now being considered a suspect in this case.
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say when LAPD named David as a suspect, I would bring it out that he's a suspect. So far, he's not a suspect to me, but he knows something, and it seemed like a group of them. It's a lot of them. We've been said that.
I'll send it back to you.
Chelsea, do we know anything, excuse me, about David's whereabouts? Because we do know that he had canceled a tour that was scheduled for not that long ago.
Yeah, no, we don't at this point. Yeah, his tour was they canceled his remaining stops on his tour. I think Seattle was the first one.
Of course, y'all. Of course. It's crazy. It's crazy. If you're gonna name they right now they have not named him a suspect. Who TMZ can view them as the suspect, as a suspect, but LAPD haven't. First of all, their parents need to be they need to be investigated, deeply investigated, because that's their daughter. And at the time, she wasn't 14. So you mean your child was alive last September, and January the 2nd was the last time y'all seen that she was on the video on David with David. Y'all, y'all, I keep y'all in check with this case, but the PI, anybody, if you want to believe anybody, you listen to the PI. And like I said on Monday, this crazy how Monday I just did a live outside that, oh, we're gonna, I got it. I did a live. And I brought up, oh, we're just gonna act like Celeste wasn't found in the front trunk of Tesla, David D4VD Tesla. So now they talking. I want to hear from the PI. But okay, y'all, thanks for watching. But I'm gonna talk about them. You know me, I've been on this top of this case right here. Thus far, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, LAPD has not named D4VD as a suspect. They haven't said nothing. Nothing came out of their mouth. They wasn't even talking to TMZ. So I'm out.